Bienvenidos SalsaHead Podcast. It's time to feel the beat. We're diving into rhythms where the dancers meet. From the bronx to the we're taking you around the world of salsa music. It's the hottest sound. SalsaHead Podcast, we're moving to the groove. SalsaHead, we got nothing to lose. Feel the rhythm, feel the heat. Join the dance, move your feet. Artists bringing fire, bands lighting up the night. Every note, every step keeps the passion tight. From classic to the new wave, salsa's always fresh. We're here to keep you moving with every single beat. Oh, SalsaHead Podcast, we're moving to the groove. SalsaHead, we got nothing to lose. Feel the rhythm, feel the heat. Join the dance, move your feet. Whoa! Bienvenidos SalsaHead Podcast. It's time to feel the beat. We're diving into rhythms where the dancers meet. From the Bronx to Havana, we're taking you around the world of salsa music. It's the hottest sound. SalsaHead Podcast, we're moving to the groove. SalsaHead, we got nothing to lose. Feel the rhythm, feel the heat. Join the dance, move your feet. Artists bringing fire, bands lighting up the night. Every note, every step keeps the passion tight. From classic to the new wave, salsa's always fresh. We're here to keep you moving with every single beat. Oh! To the stage, salsa's on every page. Tune in, turn it up high. Let the salsa spirit fly. From the studios to the stage, salsa's on every page. Tune in, turn it up high. Let the salsa spirit fly. SalsaHead Podcast, where the passion never ends. SalsaHead, dancing with our friends. Feel the rhythm, feel the heat. SalsaHead, let's move to the beat. Oh!
And welcome, SalsaHead Podcast. I'm your host, Charlie Swing DeLone, and I am excited. This is amazing. I'm so hyped up. This is nuts. I'm doing this. This is what I've been wanting to do for so long. So welcome everybody to the SalsaHead Podcast, where the beat never stops and it never ends, right? We are here to celebrate, talk about, hype up, and really just highlight salsa all around, right? Everything that's happening all over the world, throughout New York City, LA, Europe, Brazil, anywhere that salsa is happening. We really want to be in the forefront and kind of bring you guys the news about salsa, hear from different artists. I'm really, really excited to bring this to the masses. I was born and raised in Washington Heights in New York City. I've been a musician for over 30 years here in New York City and primarily been a salsa artist, right? And one thing I can tell you is no matter what band I'm playing with, the energy is amazing. People love it. People are dancing. People are drinking. Promoters are having a good time, right? Whether you're at Taj on Mondays or you're at Copa on Saturdays, we are bringing a lot of energy to the crowds. But we don't get talked about, right? Nothing gets talked about. Bands play all the time, and those who are in the know, but it's not really as, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not really as popular. I don't want to use that word, but in reality, that's what it comes off as, right? So here we are, right, in 2024, trying to find a way to bring back that energy of the 70s, bring back that enthusiasm and the sheer just love for the music, right? For the music, for the musicians. And a lot of y'all know that I talk about this a lot. Those of you who know me, right, know that I talk a lot about back when I was a child, a kid, everybody was a conguero. Oh my God, it was just a thing. everybody played congas. There was just no way around it, or play guiro or maraca, and it was just a cacophony of percussion, drums, clave, all the time, non-stop. And I remember being one of those kids saying, "Oh, that's old people music." Like, oh my God, el viejo tiene ese, the record putting on again. But as I became a musician and most importantly a salsa artist, it became so much a part of who I am. Like, everything I do kind of like revolves around salsa, which is interesting, at least professionally, right? As a musician, most of the albums that I've recorded on are salsa albums. If you catch me on the stage, it's gonna be most likely with a salsa band, and it's something that I didn't just grow up with. I was taught this, right? Growing up, and these are things, I'm just kind of feeling like a rambling, but this is our first episode. I want to kind of give you guys the raw energy of what we're about and what we're going to be doing here, and I want to invite you guys to this party, because I remember growing up back in 104th and 5th, we had Boys Harbor. I was so lucky to be of those who got to experience Spanish Harlem like it used to be, where you had a Barrio Music Center was like live, and like you think it's live now with his bocinas outside. If you're ever on 115th and Lex, it was live on 5 back in the 90s. With us going to Boys Harbor, being able to learn from Don Ramon, I got to sit with Jose Madera, with Johnny Almendra. And I mean, these are people who are just legends in salsa. Legends. And how did they get there? It doesn't just start with beautiful music. It doesn't just start with, wow, that's a fire album. It is this music really is a word of mouth. Vecinos diciéndote, oye, you heard that new Gran Combo? You heard that new Uptown Royalty album? You heard people telling people, hey, check this out. People blasting the music. And this is something that I think we need to kind of bring back. Salsa is not a summer music. Salsa is not a nostalgic. I remember back in college, I went to Boricua College, class of 2016 and 2018. Shout out to all my Boricua College graduates out there. But ultimately, while I was in college, there was a gentleman that came by who wrote a book about the last 50 years of salsa. And this is back like 2017. And I felt so offended. I was sitting there, and he was giving like a moratorium on salsa. And I got up and I said, salsa no está muerto. La salsa no se murió. What happened? And he said, no, that's not what I'm trying to imply. And I'm like, listen, you're speaking about salsa as if it's something that is from yesteryear, something to only be in memories. No, it lives every day in the streets of New York, in the streets of Miami, in the streets of Las Vegas. I'm hearing a lot of bands coming out of Las Vegas. I'm going to look forward to sharing all of this with you guys and growing an audience that really cares about our culture. Esto es nuestra cultura, and this is going to be a Spanglish podcast, just letting y'all know from jump. Nosotros que habla español, but in reality, right, esta es nuestra cultura. Whether you're Dominican, Puerto Rican, Cuban, Ecuadorian, Colombian, anything, salsa's in your blood. And I can name you a big salsa band that's from your country that you're like, oh my God, so much pride. Peru, Chipum, Callao. For heaven's sakes, they have statues in Peru. For those who have never been to Peru, salsa is so ingrained into the culture, into the just the way of life over there, that they have a Hector Lavoe statue. I mean, I've walked the streets of South Bronx 100 million times. I've never seen a statue of any one of our heroes. Celia, Tito Puente, Johnny Pacheco, Hector, Frankie. I mean, I go to Patterson all the time. Somebody educate me if there's a Frankie statue somewhere in Patterson. Right? Like, we're in the age of where we're really able to celebrate ourselves, right? So where are all of these celebrations? Are they relegated to just Hispanic Heritage Month? Or do we need a Salsa Heritage Month? I'm starting to campaign for all kinds of things, and maybe that could be one of our first campaigns, Salsa Heritage Month, and we just make everything about salsa. It's something that I've very much felt, and I see it throughout all of our concerts and every time we perform. People love this music, and the more we're able to promote it, push it, give it energy, the more we're gonna see. I miss seeing 1,000 bands in New York City. There is no such thing as too much competition. There should be a whole bunch of badass bands in New York City. Really should be. But in fact, what we have are a whole bunch of badass musicians comprising a couple of these badass bands. And one thing I want to tell you is, some of these musicians, stay tuned. They are amazing musicians that are doing amazing things in life outside of the stage. I want to bring those things to you. One of those is Willie Rodriguez. He is now heading up the charge and raising up the flag for us on an international level, literally, with the International Salsa Museum. This is something that I thought existed already. Like we don't have that? That didn't come out yet? So when he told me and he started it, I was so excited, so happy. And those of you who have yet to check it out, check them out, the ISM. We will have Willie and any one of and many of those who represent the International Salsa Museum on the cast. And we'll hear from them, hear more about what they're doing, all the good work that they've done with the Tito Puente family, with the Celia family, recently with the Barreto family. They are really leading the charge in bringing our music to a main stage and giving homage the proper way, not in such a Sansa está muerto type situation. No, let's inspire, right? I remember there was one exhibit that had Rafi Rizarri's first congas, and it's just like, wow, right? Like, man, we all start somewhere, and I want to inspire. One thing I love about performing with Uptown Royalty, Jody Music is big on this, Tito Puente Jr. is big on this. They love bringing the kids on stage. Let's expose them to this beautiful experience. Holding an instrument, being able to dance, singing, whatever it is they would like to express. It's something that we encourage, we want to see more of. We're just so enthusiastically ready for that next generation to just zoom and start rumbeando, just like we got to do. Right? So this is something that is very passionate for me. I'm sure you probably hear it in my voice. This is I don't want to say it's my whole life. I'm not. Salsa is not everything in life. However, sin salsa no hay paraíso. Without salsa, there's no paradise, man. And I'm going to tell you, we are primed and ready to be that celebratory side of the internet. To celebrate salsa, promote salsa. I'll be live casting from different concerts from time to time. I will be live casting from my own performances from time to time. Being a part of the Tito Puente Jr. Orchestra for over 20 years, we get to do a lot of cool gigs. Recently, I have done performances a lot with Uptown Royalty NYC with Jody Music and Ron Prokopaz. Beautiful, beautiful family and amazing artists. I mean, amazing artists. Wait till you guys hear what they got coming too. Like, there's so much going on in our industry that isn't talked about, that isn't highlighted. And I'm not going to pretend that this is going to be everywhere at once, all over. But I will say this. I believe in salsa. I was born into it. It's interesting because my father is a collector, and just a little bit more, my father was born in the 30s, and he's still here. Un caballo, es un caballo, my father, Alfredo Dironé, Joseph Alfredo Dironé, and he has all kinds of records. And I know growing up, every Sunday, he would do a pop quiz on us. What's this artist? What year was it recorded? like, if we got this wrong, it was a problem type situation. So I got to listen to Daniel Santos, Los Compadre, all of these different artists that a kid from the 90s wasn't really listening to, right? Even though I still had my Hot 97 at the time, right? That would play the Biggies and all that stuff. But at home, it was Son Montuno. It was Guaracha. Guarachas all day. Guarachas all day. And I grew to really appreciate it once I was able to get into a space where I got to learn music and join a particular young group, which will be an episode on itself. So there's a lot to kind of unpack, and we're going to talk about. I'll dive in on some of my experiences as well as a musician throughout the years, some stories, and all PG. I'm going to keep all PG stories here. We are not going to go crazy, but, there's a lot of great things that we've done, a lot of funny things, right, that can be shared, and I look forward to sharing them with all of you. Be sure to follow us on all of the platforms. We're going to be on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Come to our website, SalsaHeadPodcast.com, for the latest news, any podcasts to catch up with podcasts, just to see any articles. There's a lot of goodies on there. We also have a store. You can get yourself a nice shirt, a t-shirt. There's a lot of different things there in the merch store that you can have to represent being a salsa head. And I can't thank you guys enough for being here today. I will close out this episode with just one thought. If ever in doubt, just salsa.
SalsaHead Podcast, where the passion never ends. SalsaHead dancing with our friends. Feel the rhythm, feel the heat. SalsaHead, let's move to the beat.